Oklahoma. That's a fun word to say. The Oklahoma onion burger. Alright, so I know I'm quite a bit late to the party, but the Oklahoma onion burger, if you've somehow not heard of it, is the burger that has taken the griddle world by storm. And at its base, at its foundation, it is essentially a smash burger with a ton of thinly sliced onions. And it all comes together magically. So we're going to start this off like a normal smash burger cook. I've got the still-made griddle hot, 460 degrees Fahrenheit hot, and I'm just spreading a thin layer of avocado oil on it. Don't want too much, it's going to be 80-20 ground beef I'm using, so it's going to have plenty of fat content. I don't think I have to worry about sticking. These right here are some mayoed potato buns, and I'm going to put them in the back just to let them kind of start toasting up. Give them a little press to make sure we get some even contact. I can always take them off once they get done, and I'm going to kind of steam them a little bit later at the end of this cook and reheat them. I'm just looking now is for a nice golden crust. So here I have 2 4-ounce balls of loosely packed and salted 80-20 ground beef, and I'm going to put a big generous handful of thinly sliced onions on there. If you're kind of wondering how much onion to put way too much and then put a little bit more. But no, this right here was one generous size onion. You thinly slice it. I mean, it is an onion burger after all. That's kind of the whole point here. But you're just going to put them onions on there. Make sure you get them all. And I'm going to let this sit for about 30 to 45 seconds. I wouldn't go too much past a minute. And then we're going to smash it down and let them become one, kind of like a traditional smash burger. So I've ripped me off a little bit of parchment paper that'll help it not stick that bad. I'm going to take my press, and I'm just going to press it down. The goal here is to kind of get them onions in the meat, near the meat, and getting pressed down and getting some nice contact with the griddle themselves. Hold it for about 15 seconds or so. It don't have to be nothing too crazy. Key here, I think, is to make sure that you're just getting a nice, even thickness with the smash burger. That way it cooks better. You'll do that to both of these. So you can kind of see right there, you see the onions are pressed down in the meat. We got some on the side. That's how I like it. Now I'm going to let these go for about 5 minutes on this first press down. This right here is really your best opportunity to get that nice smash burger kind of sear and crust to it, because when you flip it over, you're going to have some more onions kind of blocking the meat. So take advantage of this time. Like I said, about 5 minutes should do the trick, but adjust accordingly. Savor the aromas that are now filling your nasal cavities. And don't forget about those buns. There they are. They're good. Alright, so it's about time to flip. I'm just going to take my spatula and put the onions kind of back more on the center of the patty there, because when I flip it, that way they'll kind of be a little bit more in contact with it. Now you can see some of them's a little bit more done than others, but none of them is by any means raw. And I kind of like the little differences we'll have here in texture. A little bit more crispy on some, a little bit less on others. It's like you're getting the best of all onions here. But here is the moment of truth. Time for the flip. And I'm pleased with it. Like I said, this right here is going to be the side that's going to have the best, crust, because it's the one getting the most contact. Now we're going to have a little bit more onions on the bottom. I'm going to kind of scoop the ones that are not up under it and put them on top. And I'm going to do that to both of these patties here. And that right there is, yes, that's going to look pretty good too. So let's put some more onions on top of it. And I might have pulled a little bit too much out of the bottom there, but I think it'll still work. These right here, I'm going to let them sit for a few more minutes. Depends on how done you want them at this point. I kind of like the little differences in the onions. Like I said, these burgers are pressed thin. They're already cooked, really. If need be, a little salt, a little pepper. I'm going to put some cheese on them. This right here, I'm just going to sit the press. I'm not pressing it down, but just kind of help it get a little contact there to where it cooks evenly, and hopefully gets a little bit of a nice little crust caramelization on those onions. Here's a little complimentary, up close and personal. So for the cheese, it's going to be good old deli sliced American cheese. And I'm actually going to put 2 slices on each patty for a total of 4 slices on our Oklahoma onion burger. A lot of people are going to say it's too much cheese. I'll say, mind your own business. I like cheese. And you're just going to let that melt down real nice. So I mentioned earlier not worrying about taking your buns off because we'd reheat them later. We've come to that step. I'm going to go ahead and put my buns on my patties here. Then I'm going to take my little squirt bottle and go around, not on, but around. Just kind of get some steam going. I'm going to steam that bun a little bit and just kind of get it nice and warm for whenever we get ready to eat it. And we're almost ready to assemble this beautiful monster. Alright, so I'm just going to take my spatula. That's my bottom bun right here, so I'm going to go under and make sure I'm picking them onions that crust up. Flip it over. Kind of rearrange them if you need to. If you see something got a little bit too done, now's the time to take them off before we put the top side on. I'm just being really careful because I want to get all that goodness. Catch that little onion there. I'm going to push it on there. And we're done. Alright, so we made it back to the taste test table. And this right here is just a basic Oklahoma onion burger. My first time ever having this, much less trying to cook it. So let's cut into it and see what we think. Might have went a little heavy on the cheese. I don't know if that's normally a problem, but it kind of covered up all the onions I can see. But they're there. We know they're there. That's the important part. Oh, yes. So, still nice and steamy. Let's give it a try. You can see, you know, stuff tends to show up a little darker, I think, when you're cooking. Well, at least with my low-budget camera. But, you know, some of them's a little bit more crispier than what a lot of people like. I like them like that. I got a nice little mixture. I think it's going to give me some different flavors. Let's give it a try. Easy chair. Cheese kind of glued my mouth shut. Not a bad thing. Some of you might be like, just don't even talk. But it's all there how it should be. I'm getting a ton of onion flavor as would be expected, as should be expected. The cheese, though, is really going in good with them onions. It's coming off the side here. You know, obviously the way the nature of this, the way it works, you're going to get a pretty good sear on one side of your smash burger, not so much the other side, because you'll have the onions on there. But you can see in there, still smoking. Got some, I don't know how good it'll show up on camera, but, you know, these little slivered onions. Oop, nice try. But the key is to cut them really thin. Obviously, if you have like a mandolin slicer or something like that, I just used a chef's knife. That's what I had. And it was probably a little bit more work than what it could be, but it's worth it because it really cooks down. All this is going together so well. I'm loving it. This is a great burger. I recommend everybody give this a try if you like burgers. And if you like onions, this is definitely the burger for you. Tons of flavor going on here. Appreciate you taking time to check out another cook on the channel. As always, I'm Garrett the Griddler saying thanks for watching. Until next time. Wait, I forgot something. If you wouldn't care, I'd please appreciate it if you consider to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on post notifications. Till next time, let's keep cooking. Fun fact, the Oklahoma onion burger was created by Ross Davis at the Hamburger Inn in Ardmore, Oklahoma during the Great Depression era. He thought it'd be a good idea to stretch out the burger meat with some onions, still be able to serve people some great tasting food at an affordable price. I think that's a class act move. There's a little behind the scenes footage. Now I gotta get the cut in part, the pictures and stuff. So I'm gonna try to balance it ever so delicately. But this is bonus footage if you stuck around.